All right, good morning everybody. It is Thursday the 23rd of April. Welcome to your Thursday workout. Let's see what we have on the board for you today. Alrighty, so today is about a lot of pressing. In our loaded and in our partially loaded workouts, what we're working on today is strict presses, push presses and push jerks. So it's a lot of overhead movement today. Okay, the benefit of doing overhead movement is it strengthens the shoulder girdle. If you're doing a weighted movement, there's a lot of midline work, a lot of midline control required for the pressing and the push presses. So with the unloaded version that we're doing today, we don't have any weight to press overhead, so we can use our body weight to try and get that overhead weight in the shoulders. So we're going to be doing some handstand push-ups. Right, so number one, we've got one strict handstand push-ups for those who can do strict handstand push-ups. We're going to do two kipping handstand push-ups for those who can do kipping handstand push-ups. And then we do a max unbroken handstand hold. So you're going to hold a handstand. If you can do a freestanding handstand, you do a freestanding handstand. If you need to kick up on the wall and hold a handstand in an overhead position, then you can hold that. And we're going to hold it for as long as possible. Right, and then what we're going to do, you're probably going to do one set of this every 3 to 4 minutes, right? And the reason we're breaking it up so long is that you're going to start building up fatigue. Your first 1 or 2 rounds, 3 handstand push-ups doesn't sound like a lot, but because you're doing max hold work here, okay, you're getting as much work and you're fatiguing until your arms are shaking, and then just before your head smashes into the floor, then you come back down. Okay, so because we're doing that max hold work here, we need a longer recovery time here to be able to get as much strength work, as much overhead work as possible into the shoulders. And we're doing, it doesn't say 7 sets, we're doing 7 sets of this. Okay, so we'll just check the workout briefing. We're doing 7 sets or 7 rounds of this, and we're doing 1 round every 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, and then we're going to have a nice little finish at the end to get your heart rate up and then to get some other work into your stomach and your midline. All right, so scaling options. If you're not doing handstand push-ups, strict handstand push-ups or kipping handstand push-ups, if you can't do a strict handstand push-up, then do 3 kipping handstand push-ups. Okay, and if you can't do kipping handstand push-ups, we're going to do some kind of progression with either the feet on a box, right, or we're going to do 5 handstand push-ups this way. Right, so 3 handstand push-ups of some variation overhead, or we're doing 5 push-ups from the floor. If 5 push-ups is a lot for you, then cut it down to 4 push-ups or cut it down to 3 push-ups. But you want to try and get as much work through those push-ups as you can. Then instead, if you can do a handstand hold, do a handstand hold. If you can't do a handstand hold, we're going to do a push-back. So you're going to push back through the shoulders in that overhead position. Right, if you can't do that, then we're just going to hold a tall plank. And again, we do a max hold for tall plank, probably up to 60 seconds. Then you're going to rest. Okay, you can rest 3 minutes. If you need to rest slightly short, if you feel like 3 minutes is too long, cut it down to 2 minutes, and then we can get 7 rounds of that done with as much rest in between each round as you need to make sure you can hit this work period here as hard as you can. Alrighty, so that's that part of the workout. Your finisher that we're looking for. So we put your death by kick sits. Okay, death by kick sits is when we shoot the legs out and then we sit up into a sitting position. And what we're going to do is we're going to start at about 6 repetitions, and we're going to add 2 repetitions every 1 minute. Right. So you're going to start with 6 reps. The rest of the minute you're going to rest. When the next minute starts, you're going to do 8 reps. Rest for the remainder of the minute. Do 10 reps. Rest. 12, 14, 16, 18, and you're going to try and go as far up the ladder as you can for as many minutes as you can until you can't complete the required amount of reps for that round. So kick sits is going to work through the hip flexors and the stomach. If the kick sits aren't comfortable, you can do normal sit-ups. So you can do death by sit-ups, 2 reps every time until you can't make the required amount of sit-ups for that amount of time. If you want something a little bit more cardiovascular, that's going to drive your heart rate, you're going to do kickbacks. And kickbacks, you'll see which we're going to go through the movements. All right, so let's have a quick look at the movement standards that we're looking for. So strict handstand push-ups, or let's start with the push-ups first. Get my shoulders warm as well. So your handstand, I'm going to start over here because actually I'm going to be doing push-ups on the side. So push-ups, you're going to start, first progression for the push-ups is just to get those, now strong position, knees to floor, chest to floor, push-up, push-up. Watch with the push-ups is try not to let those elbows go too wide. The wider your elbows, the more work into the shoulders. Try and tuck the elbows in. Stomach nice and tight. Push up onto the knees. Lift the knees. Okay, that's your 5. That's your progression on a knee progression. If you can do strict push-ups, do strict push-ups. If you're going to do the next progression up from that before you're doing strict handstand push-ups is going to do something like this. It's called a pike push-up. Actually do it without the box. And I'm going to start, you're going to put either on a lower box or a higher box. You can put your feet up on a chair. And what we're going to do is we're going to put your feet up on the side here. And then what we're looking to try and do is to try and get your hips over the top of the shoulders as much as possible. So this is one of your pike progressions. And from there, you're going to touch down, touch the top of the shoulders, and press back up. That's going to be your pike handstand push-up. Get a pillow underneath your head if you need to, just to allow a good shoulder position. If you're not comfortable in the shoulders or you're not strong enough, go in a slightly lower box. Don't have your hips as far over your shoulders. Then you're going to do your floor or your handstand progression. If you're doing a kipping, hands up, you're going to kick hands to the floor if you need to, and then you're going to shoot your legs, press, shoot, lock those arms out for a kipping handstand push-up. If you can do strict handstand push-ups, strict handstand push-ups. Make sure your shoulders are nice and warm before you get into those handstand push-ups. Okay, so that's going to be your progressions for your handstand push-ups, push-backs, handstand hold. What we're doing with that handstand hold is you're going to kick up onto the handstand and just hold the handstand for as long as you can. If you're doing a kickback or a pushback, I should say, hands on the floor, push back position, and you're just going to push back through the shoulders and you're just holding. Okay, already in that position you're going to feel that there's work through the shoulder girdle, you're going to feel that there's work between the shoulder blades, elbows are locked out, and just holding that position is going to build strength through this part of the body. Alright, so those are progressions there. Let's look at your sit-ups. So sit-up progression, butterflies together, butterfly position, chin tucked in, touch top of the toes, easy sit-ups, right? If you're doing a kick sit, legs are going to be a little bit more straight. What's going to happen, I'm going to shoot my legs. As I shoot my legs, my hip flexors are going to fire. That's going to fire up into my abdominals. It's going to pull my body to an upright position. So from there, leg shoot, sit up, 1, shoot, sit up, 2, shoot, sit up, 3. Okay, if you're using a GHD in the gym, it's a similar kind of movement that we're looking for. And then if you want something a little bit more cardiovascular, we do a kickback on the side, go this way. What we're looking for is we're going to hands down, jump back, jump up, 1, and at the top here, squeeze the hips and the glutes. So the work is hamstrings, glutes, lower back, body's up nice and straight. I'm not trying to do this, so there's not too much in the lower back. From there, jump back, jump up, 2. Okay, so that's that. We've got your workout variations we've gone through, your finisher variations we've gone through. Right, everybody, that's the workout part. If you need a little bit more coaching around the warm-up briefing, we're going to go through that now. Okay guys, so the warm-up briefing. So we've got a 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. So we've got a descending ladder range, and we've got 3 different movements. So what you're looking for is going to get 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, 8, 8, 8, 6, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, the whole way through. So T-punch, shoulders rotations with a roll. Okay, we've done quite a few of these. Hands nice and wide. Stretch through the shoulder. And press. And press through. And stretch. Okay, we want to do these because we're trying to get this part of the shoulder girdle nice and mobile, nice and warmed up. We want to make sure that your shoulders have good overhead shoulder mobility to perform this workout nice and safely. Right, so you're going to do, say, 5 on the right, 5 on the left. That'll give you 10 reps. Next one is 6-point burpee. It's just 6-point burpee. It's just feet on the floor, knees on the floor, hands on the floor. That's 6 points. You're going to jump back down, knees to floor, chest to floor, push back up, stand, clap, and we're doing 10 burpees. And then we're doing an air squat to an up and over fence. So air squat, touch, up and over the fence, feet back into a squat position, up and over fence, back into an air squat position, up and over the fence, back into air squat position, up and over the fence. So it's just getting those hips mobile, right? Focus on every time that you step over the fence so there's nice rotation in the hips, but you have to come back into a good squat position. Squat. All right. What's generally happens is that you forget about your foot position and you start doing this and it's in your knees. Feet nice and wide every time. Inside. So we're doing 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. That's 10. 10 burpees, 10 air squats. Then we're doing 8, 4 on each side, 8 there, 8 there, 6, 3 on each side, 6, 6, 4, 2 on each side, 4, 4, 2, 1 on each side, 2, 2, done. That'll get your heart rate up, get your shoulders nice and warm, and your hips nice and warm. That's the warm-up. Then WOD prep. So you're preparing all the movements and you're making sure that the scaling option that you've chosen is appropriate for your level of strength and fitness. All right. So what we're doing is we do a kick up handstand hold. We do 5 kick up handstand holds. We're only going to hold for about 3 seconds. So you're going to kick up, hold your handstands, hold for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come back down. Shake the shoulders out. Kick back up. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Come back down. And you're doing 5 3-second holds on the handstands. Right? If you're not doing a handstand hold, knees on the floor, and you're pushing back into that push back position with the feet on the floor, pushing hips backwards, locking those arms out into a nice overhead position. You're doing 3 3-second hold or 5 3-second holds on the pushbacks. After that, you're doing an inverted shoulder shrug, okay, or a scapping. So let me show you on the handstand what that looks like. So in a handstand position, I'm going to kick up on the handstand. Make sure this is tight. And we're going to kick up, and you're going to hold, and then all we're doing is you're going to shrug, 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 2, shrug, 3, shrug, 4, and we're working between the shoulder blades in that handstand position as much as possible. If you're strong enough to do that, you can. If you want to do a pike position, you can do a pike position with your hands on the floor, hips up and your feet against the side. Or if you want to put your feet on the box, you can do that. Or if you're going to be doing push-ups for today instead of handstand push-ups, just to get that shoulder girdle nice and warm. Press and push and press and push, and try and get as much work at the bottom of the movement between the shoulder blades and as much work at the top as you can. Okay, that's going to be your inverted shrugs or your kneeling scap shrugs. And then we do a pike handstand push-up. So your pike handstand push-up is going to be first, you're going to be through pike position, and you're going to bring your head down towards the top of the mat. Touch, press 1, touch, press 2, touch, press 3. Okay, the more you can pike, you can start getting your hands, hips over the top of your shoulders a bit more, and pike down, touch, press 1, touch, press 2. Okay, you can do 5 of those. The idea is not to increase the intensity too quickly. Give yourself enough of those movements so that you're warming up the shoulders properly before you go into the heavy work. Okay, if you're not doing pike handstand push-ups, just do normal push-ups. Do 1 round. If you feel like your shoulders need a bit more time, or you need to scale up the progression or scale the progression down, do a 2nd round if you need to. Right? All of this work that we're doing here is part of the workout that's going to add to the conditioning for the whole day's workout. Once you warm here, once you've worked out your prep work and you've prepared the shoulders, both mobility wise, and you got them nice and warm, you can go into the workout. We've been through that already. Okay, there is quite a bit of shoulder work, so you don't need to rush through this one. It's not a heavy cardiovascular work. The heavy cardiovascular work and the stomach work is going to come in that finisher. So take your time with this, work safely through the shoulders, then get into the finisher, smash the finisher, try and push as hard as you can to get as far up the ladder on that finisher as you can. Alright guys, that's today's workout. Enjoy the workout, and we see you tomorrow Friday.